In today's lesson, we're going to be learning how to subtract mixed numbers with regrouping. This is part 2 of our original video. We're going to start out with 4 and 5 over 10 minus 1 and 9 over 10. We notice that our denominator is the same, so the only thing we need to do is subtract our numerators. Now we cannot subtract 9 from 5. So traditionally, when we are subtracting, when we don't have enough, we must borrow from our neighbor. So we're going to borrow from the 4, which now becomes a 3. Now the 1 that we borrowed from that 4, we must turn it into fraction form and add it to the fraction that we already have. So the first thing we do is make sure the denominators are the same, which is 10. In order to make this equivalent to 1 whole, we put the same number as the numerator. So 10 over 10 is equal to 1 whole. Now we simply add the numerators. 5 plus 10 gives us 15 over 10. Now we can subtract 9 from 15. And 9 from 15 gives us 6 over 10. Remember, our denominator always remains the same. Now, the last and final step is to subtract our whole numbers. So 3 minus 1 gives us 2. Now, the fraction 6 over 10 can be simplified, so we want to go ahead and do that. We notice that they are both even numbers. And remember, all even numbers can be divided by 2. So whatever we do to the top, we must do to the bottom. So 6 divided by 2 and 10 divided by 2 gives us a new fraction of 3 over 5. Now we just bring over our whole number, which is 2, which gives us a final answer of 2 and 3 over 5. Now we're going to start with a different example to reinforce everything that we just learned. So we're going to start off with 4 and 1 over 8 minus 1 and 4 over 8. Now remember, first we subtract our numerators. However, we cannot subtract 4 from 1, so we must borrow. We're going to borrow from the 4, which now becomes a 3. Remember, we must create a fraction out of the whole number we just borrowed, and it must have the same denominator, which is 8. So in order to make this a whole, we put the same number as the numerator. 8 over 8 is equal to 1 whole. Now we add our numerators. 1 plus 8 gives us 9 over 8. Now that we have our new fraction, we can go ahead and subtract 4 from the 9. 4 from 9 gives us 5 over 8. And the last final step is to subtract our whole numbers. 3 minus 1 gives us 2, for a final answer of 2 and 5 over 8.